We begin with a look at the day's top national headlines. First, Hurricane Michael is now a Category 4 storm. If Michael makes landfall as a Category 3 or higher, it will be the first major hurricane to hit that area since Hurricane Dennis in 2005. Nearly 4 million people are currently under hurricane warnings. The White House has approved an emergency declaration that will bring federal funds and assistance to the Sunshine State. And President Trump already has a short list of candidates to replace Nikki Haley as ambassador to the UN. In a surprise announcement Tuesday, Haley said she's stepping down at the end of the year. The former South Carolina governor seems to be leaving on good terms, as the president told reporters, quote, "She's done a fantastic job." The president said 5 people are being considered for the position. He also said his daughter Ivanka would be an incredible replacement for Haley, but she later tweeted, "That replacement will not be me." Closer to home, the city of Billings closes in on naming a new city administrator. The 4 finalists had a chance to tour city offices Tuesday and make their final pitch to city council members. Q2's Zoe Zandor gives us a closer look at who is in the running.
All 4 finalists agreed they appreciate the effort and time put into the search process done by the city to find the next city administrator. Collectively, the 4 finalists agree that Billings is a city with a lot of opportunity.
One Big Sky is undeniably an incredible opportunity in the core, pulling the hospitals in, the university.
People here may feel like, well, it needs a facelift, it needs to be re-energized and revitalized, but there's a lot of people that don't have what you have and never will, and downtown Billings is certainly alive and well.
Water treatment facility with the construction of a lake that could be a recreational amenity, I think is a neat idea. So I just like the idea of taking normal public works projects and saying, how can we make this an asset for the community?
The transformation of that airport will fit into the One Big Sky project, development projects. All these things are going to be a synchronicity.
And when asked about how important public taxpayer buy-in is for economic development in Billings,
I think the taxpayers have to understand the value proposition of the services that we're going to deliver and the projects that we can deliver and what their tax dollars will buy them.
I would echo that, and I think it's really about building trust generally. It's about being open and transparent and accountable about what you're doing all the time.
Earning the trust and confidence of the people who elect representatives, and if you don't have that, you don't have anything.
In Billings, Zoe Zandora, MTN News.
And Zoe tells us the City Council will hold a special meeting tonight beginning at 5:30, at which time they'll select the next city administrator and then discuss salary negotiations. If you recall, a year ago, the council thought it had a deal with Great Falls City Administrator Greg Doyon, only to see the deal fall through when the 2 sides could not agree on a salary and benefits package. Meanwhile, after weeks of widespread concern over the welfare of missing woman Laura Johnson, Billings police now tell us her case is considered suspicious in nature. The 49-year-old is 5 feet 4 inches tall, 130 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. She's been missing since September 13th. Johnson is also listed as missing person in Washington State, where she lived before. Her family believes something is wrong. She stopped showing up for her job at Papa John's and hasn't answered her phone or been active on social media. One of Johnson's 5 sons tells us his mom is in an abusive relationship. Although police have not confirmed that, a crime scene van was at Johnson's home in the Heights last Friday. Billings investigators say they have limited information to release. Anyone with information is asked to contact local law enforcement. And the Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office is also asking for the public's help in locating a 37-year-old missing man. Cameron Collin of Canada was last seen October 4th when he left a home on the Pryor Road, believed to be walking to Billings. One of his friends reached out to Q2 and shared this video of Collin in hopes someone will recognize him. Collin is a white male, 6 feet 5 inches tall and about 200 pounds. He was last seen wearing blue jeans, cowboy boots, and a black long-sleeve t-shirt. At this time, Sheriff Mike Linder says there's no suspicion of foul play. Anyone with information is asked to contact the sheriff's office. One of the nation's oldest coal companies has filed for bankruptcy protection. Westmoreland Coal, based in Englewood, Colorado, filed for voluntary Chapter 11 protection in bankruptcy court Tuesday in Houston as part of a restructuring agreement with its lenders as the company deals with more than $1.4 billion in debt. Westmoreland, which operates 3 coal mines in Montana, is the 4th major coal company to file for bankruptcy in the past 3 years, joining Peabody Coal, Arch Coal, and Alpha Natural Resources. Westmoreland says its operations will not be interrupted as a result of Tuesday's filing, and there are no expected staff reductions. On the campaign trail, outside money continues to pour into Montana's U.S. Senate race with a big surge in the past week or so. The majority of that money targets incumbent Democrat Jon Tester. In the past dozen days, outside groups report spending more than $4 million on the Montana race. That includes almost $1.4 million by President Trump's super PAC, America First Action. Other groups spending big money in the past 2 weeks to go after Tester include Restoration PAC and Americans for Prosperity. On the other side, a group called Majority Forward reported spending $1.2 million to attack Tester's Republican opponent, Matt Rosendale. Majority Forward is affiliated with a group acting on behalf of Democratic leadership in the U.S. Senate. Through last Friday, outside groups have spent nearly $21 million on Montana's Senate race, and there is still 4 weeks remaining until Election Day. About $13 million of that money has been spent on Rosendale's behalf against Tester, while nearly $8 million has been spent on Tester's behalf. And we're learning more about the absentee applications recently mailed out across Montana. While they are legal, apparently they're also confusing. The mailers incorrectly state voters are not on the absentee list. The partially filled out registration form has prompted walk-ins and calls from voters who have already signed up to receive an absentee ballot. Yellowstone County Election Administrator Brett Rutherford is asking for patience as his office is overwhelmed by the volume of questions. He also mentioned normally voters can check their absentee status through the Secretary of State's My Voter page, but the service is currently not showing the absentee status. Nothing can be changed or altered on the voter's file without a signature. Well, the newest tourism industry numbers for Montana are out. The Institute for Tourism and Recreation at the University of Montana says Gallatin County saw the most tourist dollars with $660 million in non-resident spending. Yellowstone County ranks 4th with $225 million in non-resident spending.
From a Montana brand point of view, where it's like, okay, bucket list destination, I want to fish, I want to go to Yellowstone, I want to go to Glacier, I want to hit Pompey's Pillar and the Lewis and Clark Trail, and you know, all of these great cultural and historic and natural wonders that we have. How do we make sure that we go, hey, Billings is a great place to make part of your itinerary, don't forget about us, and that's where our job is.
The UM report on tourism is published every year. This year, researchers saw overall tourism spending increase 2.6% from the previous year.